One I wanted to talk about was LA Country Club. They just completed a renovation, actually a restoration of their north course. The aim of this one was actually to restore the course to what was the George Thomas design of this course. George Thomas was the author of the 1929 Golf Course Architecture in America and is a well-respected golf course or architect similar to what McKinsey would be. He also designed both Riviera and Bel Air country clubs, to give you a little idea. So especially in that LA, California area, he was probably the best known of the older architects. The restoration was originally proposed in 2005. Gil Hance has been the restoration architect. And it was interesting because if you go back and you look at the literature on this, there's lots of areas on this course that was originally designed to have alternate routings through it, that you didn't have to play the same way every time you did it. And that's part of what they went back through. And this is from, there's a nice brochure they put online, and I took this from it, where this is what it originally looked like. This was back in the 20s. This is what it had evolved to, and now it's back to this. And you can see much more, that bunkering looks much more similar to what it had been back in the 20s, and a lot of the character of the course had been lost over the years through additional changes. So this is what I guess what people would call as a restoration. It's not a renovation as much as a restoration. Russ Meyer, who's the director of golf course maintenance on this thing, he talks about, he used a 70% Tyee, 30% 007 at different times throughout the summer. And they started this in April 4th of 2010. They started seeding ones, and they opened on the 28th of October in 2010. And I was there, I think, within a week of it. They were originally mowing with a Jake, but they moved over to these Baroness mowers. He really likes these Baroness ones, which is not as one you see as often. In October, they were at 0.135, and they were taking them down. Probably when I saw them, they were at 0.125, and they were using Wiley rollers. And Russ is interesting because I talked quite a bit with him as we traveled around, and he's very much on trying to make sure they don't develop too much thatch right away in this material. He says they grew an excellent. Regular grooming has the texture incredible. They were not grooming the cleanup pass additionally, and the difference was very strong. Strong root base, making use of, they use moisture meters to hand water anything that goes below 4%, and they've actually had their meters go down to 0% moisture at 4.7 inches before the grass is actually wilted. So they're actually staying much greener. They're using less water, and when we think about what Pat was showing, they were using less water and they were staying better. So this is another picture I took, and this was just an opening of this restoration. And this is a fun hole. This is an alternate green. It's an extremely shady hole. It was the 17th. This was in the original design. They had completely lost this green, and they went back, and they actually found where the original bunkers were and where everything was, and they've restored that. And now you can either do the standard green or you can do this one. And they said a lot of people will use this for outings or as a bedding hole because it's a little hard green to get into. It's quite a nice little interesting hole.